Like, when we read the Quran, we say Bismillah, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah. Yes, who is Ar-Rahman and who is Ar-Rahim. Yes, the most
But Allah
gracious,
is not
most
his name,
compassionate.
right?
Allah is a name. Allah is the name. Not
is a
just a
name.
name, is the name. No,
What, there
it's
are
not a
99
title.
of them, right?
Al-Ilah is the title. Allah is a name.
Well, no, Allah just means God.
No, that's according to you.
No, you can go back in history and look at other religions that came before
Forget about
Islam.
other lineages. I'm talking about Islam.
Okay.
Allah is a name. Allah is the name. Not
is a
just
name.
a name, is the name. No,
What, there
it's
are
not a
99
title.
of them, right?
Al-Ilah is the title. Allah is a name.
Well, no, Allah just
Greetings, family. Please kindly share this video, okay? Subscribe to the channel, Seto SSK, on YouTube and on Facebook, okay? At the moment right now, Facebook has blocked me because the enemy of truth, okay? The enemy of truth, they have reported my page due to the information and the kind of challenges we are challenging them. Since they don't have the answer, you see, they keep on reporting my page, and then Facebook has blocked me from streaming live. Okay, from streaming live. So kindly subscribe to this channel on YouTube too. Okay, in case this takes too long, we will be sharing the truth on this platform. So please do us the favor and subscribe to the channel Seto SSK. Okay, on Facebook, as it says right there. The same name on Facebook, the same name on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube, please. Okay. Today's program I am doing, okay, I am going to play a video or an audio I did with a Muslim. You see the video I just played for you. For the Muslims, if you are debating with them, majority of them, they are not debating you to seek the truth. They are not debating you to seek the truth. They want to win an argument, or they just want to make fun of you, or they just want to go out to say we finished him or something like this. They don't care about the truth. Majority of them that I have debated with, I have come to the conclusion they all have the same mentality, just to win an argument. So for them to win the argument, they will say whatever. They would deny. You see the guy, he was denying it. He said Allah is the name. It is the name. And so the guy was trying to tell him there were other gods in the history. He said, no, forget about that. This is what I'm telling you. If Allah is the name of their God, that means what is the name? Allah is the name of Allah. They say other Muslims will say Allah means God. Just like in other language, it is just the language. You see, so if you were in Britain, in UK, you will say God. You don't have to say Allah because it's not the name. It is just another language. God translated in Arabic. And so you have to say God. Nobody have to mention Allah in UK because it simply means God. But they keep on mentioning Allah. Why? Because that is the name of the God. That is the point. Okay. But today's program, it was about a Muslim whom I had a discussion with. Okay. And then every time sometimes you were debating with these Muslims, they are trying to intimidate you or trying to confuse you, because as soon as they know they can't handle the kind of truth or how you know much about their religion, they always suspect, they always expect that since you were not a Muslim or not born into the religion or have never practiced the religion, so they should know more than you. That is the mentality, their state of mind. They have the authority to teach you, but you don't have any authority to teach them. You see, that is their mentality. So every time you start to question them, and then now, or you are having a dialogue, a discussion with them, they keep on trying to twist words or trying to make you confused or trying to do something which will make you even forget what you are trying to say. It is very frustrating sometimes debating with them, because it's not about the truth. To them, it's not about the truth. They already believe they have the truth. That is their mentality. Okay, so if it is like if you have a sickness, okay, if you have a sickness with you, you have a sickness, and then somebody promised you the medicine of it, and you believe that person that this is the medicine, you are getting the medicine from this guy, you will never look at anywhere else because this is the one you believe, and you expect that this medicine is going to work for you. So you will believe in this. Somebody who could come and tell you the medicine he's giving to you, he's giving you, it is not a treatment for this sickness, and this is the reason why it's not a treatment for this sickness. Because you don't believe in this person, what this person is telling you, you don't believe, you don't know him. But he could be telling the truth, that the kind of sickness you have and the type of medicine this person is giving to you, it is never going to heal you. But you believe in this person, so you will say, no, you are lying. There's the state of mind of many Muslims. They believe they have Islam and the religion of truth according to the Quran. Okay, so this religion of truth, but without them lying to themselves, deceiving themselves, it's very difficult for them to defend it. Let me show you the evidence here. Okay, it's about abrogation. I was speaking with this guy on the phone. I recorded it. Okay, as usual, I always record the phone calls I have with Muslims so that I will play it for the people to hear after the conversation. So in the conversation, I asked this guy, "Do you believe in abrogation?" Because he was trying to pinpoint on a single verse in the Bible. You see, now they are comfortable trying to point at a verse in the Bible to make their point. They don't care about the verses before or the verses after. They don't care about the chapter. They don't care about the context of the verse. They don't care. One single verse in the Bible is enough for him to discredit the Bible. But if you quote one verse from the Quran and say, look at what this verse is saying, they will ask you, do you know the asbab nuzul of this verse? Have you checked the tafsir? Have you read the verses before and the verses after? He quotes to me 2 Chronicles chapter 15, verse number 13. Is the verse he quoted for me. That we should analyze this verse. What is this verse saying? I asked him, have you read from 1 to 13? He said, no. I should read the verse 13. You see the deceive. He told me no on the phone. Okay. So let's see. And I asked him, do you believe in abrogation? What is abrogation? To my knowledge, a verse will come before. A verse will come. And then another verse will come to abrogate the other verse. So this verse will be in the Quran. The first verse will still be in the Quran, but it has no power because the second verse is over it now. Is the criteria over the first verse. The first verse is still there, but the second verse is what you should obey or you should follow. You see, that is abrogation. Listen to what he's saying. Listen to carefully. These guys, liars. Uji abrogation, the question or no? And so in this conversation, we were speaking in our mother language, okay, Ashanti or P. And then I asked him, do you believe in abrogation? Listen, the question was, do you believe in abrogation? He said he believes in abrogation. Listen, which abrogation did he have? That means that the verse can.
Different scripture.
Did you hear what he said? I will try to explain, okay, what he's saying. I asked him, do you believe in abrogation? He said, yes, he believes in abrogation. So I was trying to proceed to my next question or to say what I want to say. He said, but you haven't asked me how do I believe in abrogation? You see his state of mind. You haven't asked me how I believe in abrogation. Abrogation is abrogation. One verse canceling the other verse. He said, you haven't asked me how I believe in abrogation. If I believe that the Bible abrogates the Bible itself, or Quran abrogates Quran itself, or the Quran can abrogate the Bible, you haven't asked me. Now, you see how he's trying to play games here? It's still abrogation. If the Bible still abrogates another Bible, it is abrogation. If the Quran abrogates the Bible, it is abrogation. So you still believe in abrogation. So he wants me to clarify, ask him specifically, what kind of abrogation do you believe? Do you see the mentality? Don't want the truth. Listen to what he's going to say next. Hey, my guy, what's the abrogation? And I said, what's the abrogation? So I asked him again, man, stop saying, do you believe in abrogation or not? That was the statement now. Do you believe in abrogation or not? He said, I believe in abrogation. Now he's trying to explain further. Abrogation, it's just saying, verse, if you were honor, about the cancel another verse. And I just said, what I'm speaking right now, I just said, abrogation is abrogation. It means one verse is going to cancel the other verse. Okay, one verse is going to take over the other verse. And then let's listen what he said. So he said, no, where did I get that criterion from? that abrogation means one verse will cancel the other verse. Where did I get that criteria from? You hear him? Did you hear what he said? Where did I get this criteria from? A Muslim asking me this question. Okay, so my question, do you believe in abrogation, was my first question. He said yes. And then now he's trying to ask me, say, what type of abrogation? How do I understand abrogation? Or how do I believe in abrogation? And then I told him abrogation is one verse canceling another verse. So it doesn't even matter from what book. But listen to what I said. So he asked me, where did I get that criterion from? Where did I get that criteria that one verse cancels another verse? And then I said, from the Quran. Okay, it's in the Quran. So he said, so let's continue. Of course, yes. Yes.
From in scripture to scripture.
And so he asked me, so am I trying to say, I am saying, are you, so he asked me, are you saying abrogation means one verse canceling another verse in the same scripture? That's what he's asking me right now. Okay, that's what he's asking me.
Within the same scripture.
From scripture bimu to scripture bimu, crampo etime abrogation. Me catch according to Quran, scripture back on the Quran, no betime abrogate Bible. So his question was, so are you saying abrogation means one verse canceling another verse in the same book, or it is canceling in another book? That was his question to me now. Are you saying that abrogation, one verse is canceling one verse in the same book, or the whole verse is canceling a verse in another book? And then I told him, so according to Islam, the Quran can even abrogate the Bible. You see, the Quran abrogates the Bible. That means the Bible, the Quran abrogates the Bible, and the Quran verses itself also abrogates itself. The Quran verses in the Quran will abrogate the verses in the Quran. It is as if this guy never heard of this before. But this is why I say they are always deceiving themselves, because you will hear him at the end. He will say he believes there is abrogation in the Quran. He will say himself that there is abrogation in the Quran. He is not saying that there is no abrogation in the Quran. So the question is, if there is abrogation in the Quran, is it a verse in the Quran which is abrogating the other verse in the Quran, or is it another book which is abrogating the verse in the Quran? My statement to him was, abrogation means a verse canceling another verse. And then he said, where did you get this criterion from? You see the logic? And then if you don't stay focused, they can make, you see, they will confuse you totally. Where did I get that criterion from? So when he himself will say at the end that he believes, he is not saying there is no abrogation in the Quran. He's not saying that. So if there is abrogation in the Quran, which verse cancels the other? You see the logic? The Muslims, most of them, they are just doing propaganda. They don't care about the truth. And when you start to expose them, then you will get intimidation messages trying to threaten you. Why? What am I doing wrong right now? I am just exposing his ignorance. So let's continue. According to Quran, and in the Quran itself, and also a verse which me abrogate verse be. Over Quran, it will say the Quran is sana Quran kind.
Within the Quran verse, not me in abrogate the Quranic verse.
Yes. So I just said in the Quran itself, one verse from the Quran can abrogate another Quranic verse. He said, is that what the Quran said? Said, oh, are you sure? Is that what the Quran said? I said, yes, that is what the Quran said. Because I know what I'm speaking about. I said, yes, that is what the Quran said. One verse in the Quran can abrogate another verse. And if he himself believes there is abrogation in the Quran, how do you think that happened? How? For you to know that there is abrogation is there. You see, you have to have the verse, the one which came first. God, he sends the verse first, and then he will send another verse to abrogate the first verse. So the first verse will not be robbed from the Quran. It is still there, so that you will know that this verse is abrogating this verse. So one verse will come and replace the other verse. So if abrogate, so he's acting Are you saying there is a verse in the Quran which will abrogate another verse? That is what he said. Let me reverse it small, okay? Sana Quran kind.
Say within the Quran verse, not me in abrogate the Quranic verse.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So he asked me, are you saying within the Quran itself, a verse from the Quran will abrogate another verse? I said yes. Let's listen to what he said. And Quran, so it means abrogate Bible no Quran. So then I just added to it that even the Quran says Quran can abrogate another verse, another Quran. The Quran can abrogate the Bible, okay? Because according to the Quran, the previous scriptures was there. They are there at the time of Muhammad. The Muslims today, they say it is corrupt. It is not there. At the time of Muhammad, it was there. And the Quran said it in the Quran that verse, that previous book, is a criteria over the Quran. The Quran is the criteria over them. You hear? Quran chapter 5, verse number 48. Let me try and put it on the screen so that you know what I'm talking about, okay? So the Quran already stated that the Quran is criterion over the Quran is a criterion over the Bible. That is the claim of the Quran. The Bible doesn't know the Quran. The Quran knows the Bible. I can also write a book or claim that a book came to me from God, and my book is the criterion of the Quran. That is the claim in my book. So the Quran is claiming it has the criterion over the Bible. So everything that is in the Bible, that maybe they used to do this, the Quran has a criteria. So if there's the opposite is in the Quran, you follow the Quran. That is how it's. So the verse in the Quran will abrogate that verse. You see what I mean? Let me put it on the screen so you understand that. You see, I don't speak on my own. Everything that I do, I try to give you references from their book, so that people will know that at least it is in your own book. But because they don't stand on the truth, they are trying to play games. They just want to win the argument. Let me show it to you so you will know what I mean. Okay, as it is on the screen, you all can see. Quran chapter 5, verse number 48. Okay, Quran chapter 5, verse number 48. And we have revealed to you, O Muhammad, the book in truth, which is the Quran, confirming that which preceded it of the scripture, and as a criteria over it. You see, this is a statement. It is there clearly. We are speaking to Muhammad. Muhammad has been given a book. The book is confirming the books which came before it. And the book is the criterion over that. It doesn't mean the other books are corrupt. No. It just means the Quran has the superiority. Okay. The Quran is superior according to Islam. That is what I'm saying. The Quran is claiming this for itself. You understand? So this is what I was saying, that the Quran can abrogate verses in the Bible, because if something contradicts what the Quran is saying, Quran in the scriptures, the other scripture, they used to do things like this. Now the Quran is saying the opposite. You have to follow the Quran. That means the verse has abrogated what was in the scripture. So judge between them by what Allah has revealed, and do not follow their inclination or away from what has come to you of the truth. To each of you we prescribe a law and a method. Okay, so the verse is very long. It has nothing. I've already read what was important to us. Okay, and what we wanted to know about this verse was the Quran was a criteria, okay, over the Bible according to the Quran. Quran is claiming this for itself. Okay, so you heard. I've given you the verse where and my standpoint, what I was trying to say. You see, I'm not speaking for my own, according to the Quran. Okay, so let's continue with the guy. Quran chapter 2, verse 106. Okay, so he asked me, where did the Quran say a verse can abrogate another verse in the Quran? Where did the Quran say that? Okay, where did the Quran say that? And then I was like, okay, Quran chapter 2, verse number 106. Okay, let me reverse it small. So we will hear what he said properly or clearly. Let's reverse it. So this is where he asked me, which verse did the Quran say a verse from the Quran can abrogate the verse from the Quran? Bear in mind, our first statement, I asked him, do you believe in abrogation? He said yes. Okay. And then I told him abrogation means a verse canceling another verse. That is abrogation. It doesn't even matter. Abrogation means a verse canceling another verse or replacing another verse. Okay. So listen to him. Quran chapter 2, verse 106. And we never nullify. So I gave him the Quranic verse. Quran chapter 2, verse 106. Once again, I am not speaking on my own self. I am giving a reference. I am giving something from the Quran, and you have to listen to the Quran. This is Quran's this is the Quranic verse. And a Quranic verse, they themselves, Muslims, they believe something called Asbabun Nuzul. The cause, the reason why this verse was revealed. Okay? Listen.
I mean, in Islam, there is a science called Asbabun Nuzul. This science deals with each and every verse that came to Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in the context. In what sense does it make?
Did you hear that? So every verse, there is a reason why it came. The context of the verse. This Sheikh Muhammad, who just spoke. So now, if I'm giving him this verse, okay, and before I give out a verse, that means I myself, I have sat down and then check out the context. Why? What are their scholars saying about the verse? So I gave him this verse because he demanded from me, show me the verse where a Quranic verse is abrogating a Quranic verse. And I gave him this verse. Okay, listen.
Quran chapter 2
verse 106.
Okay, and I say,
and we do not abrogate a verse. And we do not abrogate a verse or cause it to be forgotten, except we bring forth one that is better, okay, or similar to it. Do you not know that Allah is over all things competent? And Allah say, Otimi abrogate one verse, no, the another one about a better than the first one or the Bible. The one verse will abrogate the other verse. Okay, I just read it. I read it and then I explained it to him how I understand it. I said the verse is clearly saying we do not abrogate a verse. Okay, why did the verse come, or why did the verse came? Why? We do not abrogate a verse or cause it to be forgotten, except that we bring forth a better than it or similar to it. So Allah, according to this verse, Allah can bring a verse, and then he will bring a better verse than the verse before. He will improve his ability. God. Okay. So let's put that aside. So before this verse came, something has happened, right? Before the verse came, something must have happened before the verse came. What happened? Because let's just listen to him first, and then we will dive in. We will dive into this verse, and then we will listen to what the scholars have to say about the verse. You see now, because some of the Muslims, that is why I am so happy that plenty Muslims contacting me. Now they are knowing the truth. And then they know that I am not lying. But the truth is, some of them, they say we cannot come out. You see, because if you start to question them, if they gather themselves on a platform and you as a Muslim start to question them, they will tag you, they will push you out. They will tag you as something different. Why? Because you are starting using your brain. You have started to think outside the box. The verse is actually clear. It states clear. And this is the Quran. This is the Quran. So every verse that is abrogated from the Quran, it is a Quranic verse. Every verse which is abrogated from the Quran, Allah will bring a better. Okay? We bring forth a better than it or similar to it. So the verse from the Quran, if it is abrogated, Allah will bring something better or similar to it. But listen to the guy. He asked me, so I finished reading it, explained it to him, and then he asked me, are you done? I said yes. Listen to his reaction. Yeah, Marie. He said, are you done? I said, yes, I'm done. Okay, listen to his reaction. Listen very carefully. Yeah, Marie.
Sometimes we can't say money to us, but the one yard. You tell us one yard.
Did you hear what he said? He asked me, are you done? I said, yes, I am done. He said, Sato, Seto, you didn't try, cry. You didn't try at all. You didn't. As for this one, you didn't try at all. You did not try at all. Sometimes you say some things we can accept that. But today, dear, you did not try at all. This is what he's telling me. And he started laughing at me. Was he really laughing at me, or was he laughing at his ignorance? That is the point, you see. Because he said, give me the verse. Give me a verse which shows that a Quranic verse can abrogate a Quranic verse. He himself didn't know that there is something like this. He didn't know. That is what I'm telling you. He did not know. So when I gave it to him, he has to, instead of him to accept, instead of him to acknowledge that, okay, there is something like this there. He's not trying to say, I didn't understand the verse. I did not understand. The verse is not saying that. Now, I didn't try. He's laughing at me. Listen to one more time. Listen. He said, I argue too much. He said, why do I like arguing? And then he was laughing. And I said, you are laughing, but you haven't said anything. You are laughing, but you haven't said anything. And this is what I keep on telling you. So if you are somebody who didn't know, who wasn't sure, even though the verse is saying that, because he laughed and trying to be like somebody who knows what he's saying, this laughing is a kind of, he's nervous. It is something, sometimes if you get nervous and you're trying to, not to show it out, not so that people will not recognize or know. So you start to laugh or you do something like this to cover it up. And he's saying, I didn't try. I didn't try. The verse is clear, but you will see. So we started by saying he believes in abrogation. I said abrogation is one verse coming to replace the other verse. One verse coming to abrogate, cancel the other verse. So the first verse will not be useful. It is there, but it's not useful. We don't practice that. We practice the second verse, abrogating the verse. And there is plenty of it in Quran. We have plenty of verses which is abrogating the other verse in the Quran. Okay, but let's listen to what he says. So now he's laughing at me. He's laughing. Is he laughing at me, or he's laughing at himself or the Quran? Or his scholars? His scholars or me? Let's see. So he just said, I asked you that does the Quran abrogate itself in the Quran? Does a verse from the Quran abrogate itself in the Quran? Did you say that? And I said, yes, I said that. And this is the verse. Let's go back small. Let's listen to his statement again. Annie, so he asked me, I asked you, so he's saying, I asked you that you are saying the Quran, within the Quran, a verse abrogates itself. And you said yes. And then I repeated and said, yes, that's what the verse is saying. So listen.
Yes, this kind of verse in the country say I want it.
Within the Quran itself,
and then I just said, this is what the verse is saying. So now his next question is this verse saying it is within itself, Anna? Or is the verse on the board right now, is it saying it is abrogating itself in the Quran? Or you see the logic? When the verse came to Muhammad, the verse is not coming to Moses or to somebody. It came to Muhammad. What was the purpose? So because he knows that I am right, but for him to acknowledge for him that will be a defeat. For him to say, oh, okay, I didn't know this. I'm learning something new, or I have learned something new today. That is why this brother Baba Tunde from Nigeria, a Muslim, he said, Seto, through your videos, he is a Muslim, he's challenging me, he calls me, have plenty of debate on YouTube right now. On the page, Seto SSK. Just go there and type Baba Tunde. And just add SSK to it, Seto SSK. You will find our videos. Baba Tunde Seto SSK. You will find our videos. But in the videos, he's clearly saying, through my videos, he has come to realize a certain verses in the Quran he didn't know. It has helped him to do more research. Because, you know, if you are in a group which all of you think together, you think the same. You always have the same mentality. You don't think about certain things. You will never even come to know certain things. Let me just say that. Certain things. Huh? You know what I mean? So, because I am not a Muslim, and I am critically analyzing the Quran, I come up certain questions which probably maybe you have never even thought of it. That is why some of the Muslims, when they come here, they find it difficult because they are getting to hear some questions they never even thought of it. And for him, he is a guy, I don't know if he's a Malam or a teacher or an ulama, he's just a Muslim. For him to accept that he didn't know this verse, he is trying to tell me, he's laughing at me, saying this verse is not saying the Quran itself abrogates itself. But why did the verse came to Muhammad? What was the reason? Listen.
Allah say we do not abrogate the verse, no. Allah say we do.
What he said right now is, Seto, you are lying. Or as for this one there, you are lying. Let's say like that. I'm using the word lying, okay? Because I don't. The word he said, I don't know how to say it in English. Or he said you are guilty, something like this, okay? You are guilty on this charge, that you are not speaking the truth. On this particular verse, you are guilty because the verse is not saying the Quranic verse abrogates a Quranic verse, but the verse is just saying a verse is abrogated. Do you see the logic? That is what he said. I'm trying to reverse it, okay? So people who understand the language will also hear it properly. And then if I am lying, okay, anybody can comment on the comment section and say, okay, this one you didn't say it's not true. I will send this video to the guy once again. They have created a WhatsApp platform. I will send it to that platform and they will hear it, okay? Let me reverse it more. Let me go back.
Quran verse bi ekli abrogate Quran verse bi wasi etimi uti verse bi and abrogate verse bi wa ka say the Quran verse bi abrogate Quran verse bi.
You see me? So he is laughing at me because I gave him this verse that there are verses in the Quran which can be abrogated with another verses, and he was laughing. And then for his understanding to this verse, his understanding is this verse didn't say there are verses in the Quran which it can be abrogated in the Quran. This verse doesn't say that. All what the verse is saying is a verses can abrogate another verses. Okay, what is abrogation? A verse abrogating another verse, that is abrogation. You see, I don't know why I don't know if they are really trained. They are trained to deceive people. I don't know. So it is clearly, we will go to the tafsir and then we will see what it says in the tafsir. We will go as Asbab Nuzul, the cause of the revelation, we will check it. Listen to him small. So I don't know how loud his voice is. Okay, I don't know. I can't tell how loud his voice will be in this recording right now. But he's not trying to tell me the verse didn't say in the Quran, a verse from the Quran can cancel a verse from the Quran. He's trying to tell me the verse didn't say that. But what the verse is saying, a verse can abrogate another verse. And then now he's giving an example. For example, in the Torah, God or Allah will say they should maybe worship on Saturday. And then in the Quran, the God will say they should worship on Friday. That means the verse has abrogated the verse. So he is connecting this verse, that this verse is abrogating something which is outside from the Quran. But where in this verse is it saying that? He's asking me if I am the one telling him that the verse cancels the verse in the Quran, because that was Muhammad's time. And Muhammad got this revelation because he got a revelation before, and then they were doing something different after. And that is why the verse came and told them a verse will abrogate another verse. Something like this. We will check the Asbab Nuzul. We will check the reason of the revelation very soon. Okay. But he said no, but he is trying to connect this with the Torah. But with the same logic, with the logic that he has, that logic, okay, Where in this verse, because he's asking me, the verse is not saying in the Quran, a verse will abrogate another verse. But where in this verse is it saying this verse is going to, the Quran is going to abrogate the Bible or the Torah? The same logic. Where is it saying that? Nowhere. So before he will accept, no, he will fabricate something. I already showed you a verse from the Quran where it says the Quran has a criterion over the Bible, over the Torah, over the scripture which came before. I already showed it to you. You see, let me go back small. I want people to hear it clearly, okay? Share this video for me. Let me go back small.
Worship Saturday. Nasa on the catch red gang, I want Gramosom, a verse, or catch Jew first on worship Saturday, a verse. Nasa on the catch red Gramophone, Gramos, or Animuso say a worship Friday, and also say again, I am verse. And the Quran verse will abrogate the previous scripture. That's a catch run.
Did you hear that? Okay, probably if you don't understand the language, then you didn't hear it properly or clearly. He said, when the Torah, when Allah told them to worship on Saturday, that is a verse. Allah is telling them that is a verse. And then Allah is telling the Muslims to worship on Friday. That is also a verse. So this verse has abrogated that verse. So he is trying to use this as, that is abrogation, because the Quran has the criteria over it. But this verse is in the Quran. Sometimes I swear, you think about it, I say, why are some people so in denial? So he is laughing at me. He was laughing at me, saying, Seto, you are guilty, you are lying here, or you are not telling the truth. Because the verse didn't say the Quran abrogates the Quran verse. Where is this verse saying the Quran is abrogating the Torah verse? Where is this verse saying that? You see the same logic, you turn it to them, they will say you are not ready for the truth. They are the enemy of truth, but they will say you are not ready for the truth. For them, the truth is when they tell you something, you have to just nod your head. It's true. It's true. You don't have to think. You don't have to think. You don't have to use reasoning. It's true. Okay. A horse? Okay, it's true. A horse in the heaven? Okay. Okay, woman with big breast in okay. Woman with big breast in heaven? Okay. You accept it. It's true. Everything is true. You just have to nod your head. That is his explanation. Listen one more time, because this guy have to be exposed. Baba Karim is his name.
Friday, and also say again, I am verse. And the Quran verse will abrogate the previous scripture. That's a catch runners. I mean, can't abrogation in Quran and move. When I was a woman, I'm say perverse.
You hear? He just said, I'm not saying there is no abrogation in the Quran. He just literally said, I am not saying there is no abrogation in the Quran. There is abrogation in the Quran. So if there is abrogation in the Quran, how does it happen? How? Is it a verse which is going to abrogate another verse? You see, these guys are not truthful. I told you, this is the whole point we are speaking about, is abrogation. A verse canceling another verse. I said it. That's what abrogation means. He said, why did you get that criterion? And then now he just confirmed to us that there is abrogation in the Quran. Indirectly, he just said, I'm not saying there is no abrogation. So if there is abrogation in the Quran, how did it happen? Was it a verse which is going to abrogate another verse? Or what? Or a hadith? Or is it a hadith which is going to abrogate the Quran? You see the logic? Do you hear? Afala takilun, okay? Now I'll just tell you that. These guys, lying is a common thing for them. Let's go back. Let's listen once again.
Abrogating the previous scripture. That's a catch runners. I mean, can't abrogation in Quran and move.
I am not saying there is no abrogation in the Quran. I am not saying that. So if there is abrogation in the Quran, how did it occur? How did it happen? Was it another verse? Canceling another verse? If yes, so why are we discussing about this for this long? That is the insincerity in them. They don't want to accept a defeat that, okay, I did not know, I was ignorant. You see, being an ignorant it is good. So you will learn new things. Everybody is ignorant on a particular field. There is nothing wrong with it. And you don't have to be a master of a field before you go there and start to analyze. You see, you can start a job with a little bit of knowledge. And when you, in doing so, doing by practice, something, they say something like this. In doing it, you will know how you very quickly start to improve your ability, improve yourself. You see, that is how you do things. You don't have to be perfect before you start something. Just like this platform. Watch my first videos. You will see how I was even struggling to speak. But in doing it, okay, gradually, you will see that improvement coming. I did not know anything about Quran like 2 years ago. Nothing. And now they are scholars. Those who claim themselves to be scholars. That is why I'm saying they are scholars. Those who claim themselves they have knowledge about Islam. On this platform, they become like a child. Now they start to beat around the bush. We ask them critical questions. They won't come again. They will say he's looking for YouTube money. This is a perfect excuse. Had I been on live, not showing my face, they will say, show your face before we will come. Show your face. Now you show your face, they will find another way. YouTube money. But they themselves, they have YouTube too. And they are monetizing their pages too. Sheikh Mohammed Awal monetizing his pages. Mufti Mink monetizing. Zakanaik monetizing. Zakanaik at TV station, he's still monetizing his page in YouTube. But when you also create a page and you are exposing them and they are saying, okay, it is because of money, but they will never answer you. So you see how the guy is embarrassing himself? Let's go back. Let's continue. Let me go back small.
But so who catch them men cause abrogation in Quran and move. One I will say a woman, I'm say perverse the brand would we have but we are.
So he said, I'm not saying there is no abrogation in the Quran, but I am the one saying there is abrogation in the Quran. I didn't even, the statement was, I said verses can abrogate the verses in the Quran. And he said, where did you get that criteria? He asked me this question before. Where did you get that criteria? I said the Quran, because the Quran is saying we do not abrogate or cause it to be forgotten. So before you forget the verse, it is Allah who cause you to forget the verse. Allah will cause you to forget the verse that he sent to you. So why did you send this verse to them anyway? So he said, why? And then I'm showing it to him. And then now he's saying, I did not say there is no abrogation in the Quran. You said it. And this verse doesn't say there is abrogation. That is what he's saying. Let me go back small. I want everybody to know how they deceive.
Abrogation in Quran and move. One I will say a woman, I'm say perverse the brand would we have but we are before.
My guy.
He didn't say there is no abrogation. I said that it's abrogation. And then I said and he said I should bring the verse. And this verse doesn't say there is abrogation in the Quran. That's what he's saying. These guys, entertainment. Okay, let's continue.
Baba, tie verse ni bio.
I said
tie verse no.
So he's saying no. This one there. This as for this Seto, you are lying. Seto. This is you. This is what he's saying. So I said, listen to the verse again. Let's listen to the verse again. So he said, oh, I have the verse. He has opened the verse too. That is what he's saying. I have opened the verse too on his side. I said, okay, read it for us. Let's listen. I said, read it.
We do not abrogate a verse.
A verse, tobo a verse, or say a verse, no, book ben or kasafa no.
So he read it. We do not abrogate a verse. We do not abrogate a verse. And I said, okay, what book is he talking about? You hear the silence then? So you just read it. We do not abrogate the verse. And bear in mind, this revelation is coming to Muhammad. It is Muhammad's time. And if there is any abrogation, that means a verse will come and abrogate the other verse. This is common sense. This is logic. This is not something we should have wasted time on. But because he didn't know that the verse is there, and then he thinks he, as a Muslim, he has to win the argument. So he don't want to concede that he's lying. He didn't know. He don't want to accept that. So that is why we have to prolong. We have to do this thing for. You see, so I asked him, so when the Quran said we do not abrogate a verse, what book is he talking about? Simple question. Listen.
Or say a verse, no book ben or kasafa hono.
What book are we talking about? See the silence?
We do not abrogate a verse, lecturer say.
But verse we say kasafa Quran hono didn't Allah abrogate before.
So I asked him, so what is he talking about? So he tried to explain it. Okay, he's trying to explain this verse. You see, if you are sincere to yourself right now at the moment, you should know that the guy is not truthful. Okay, you should know the guy is not truthful. I asked him this question. Listen.
Tobo, did you Tobo? Do you drink alcohol? Do you drink alcohol in the Quran? Mibusawo before no alcohol was permissible to. Yeah, but me chirawo verse what Quran muna it has been abrogated with another verse.
So I asked him, so do you drink alcohol? He said, no, we are not speaking about alcohol drinking here. I said, no, the point is I am trying to prove to you a verse in the Quran which has been abrogated with another verse from the Quran. So it is as if the guy don't even know that there are verses in the Quran itself which has been abrogated. That is the whole point. You see, he does not know that there are verses in the Quran which has been abrogated with another verse in the Quran. He does not know. He doesn't know that. I think that is his main point. So he's shocked that when I said this, that's why he's saying, no. It doesn't say the verse in the Quran is abrogating a verse in the Quran. He doesn't know. So he's saying this verse means the Torah they were given to worship on Saturdays, and then the Quran on Fridays. So this verse is abrogating that verse. But in the Quran, drinking alcohol was permissible. Going to drink alcohol drinking was something normal. So the Quran used abrogation to forbid them. Okay, before it was permissible, and then Allah told them, okay, don't go to mosque when you are drunk, don't do prayers when you are drunk. You see, it wasn't forbidden. They could drink, but at the time of church, you shouldn't be drunk when you are leading the prayers and sitting there and saying, Bismillah. You don't do that. Allah said, okay, don't drink when you are coming to church, when you are coming to mosque. And then later on, Allah said it is forbidden. So that is the abrogation in the Quran. You see, so the guy didn't know. But for him to accept the truth that he did not know, he is trying to fabricate things. He didn't know that there is abrogation in the Quran. When you think about it logically, that is what the whole point is.
So what you say?
Now he's saying, I didn't tell him I was going to show him abrogation, a verse abrogating a verse in the Quran. The whole point is I said abrogation verses in the Quran abrogate verses. You say where? Where did I get that information from? I gave you this verse. And then you said, no, it is not talking about that. You gave me, it is talking about a Torah being given Sabbath day on Saturday and worship day on Saturday and the Quran on Friday. And now I'm giving you a verse that in the Quran itself, there is abrogation there. Now you are saying, that's not the point here. You see, deceiving themselves.
Now then, you can say, "Uji abrogation is an ebubusa." Baba, me time aso.
Let's go back small.
But verse we say kasafa Quran hono didn't Allah abrogate before Tobo did you Tobo do you drink alcohol? Do you drink alcohol in the Quran?
You drink?
Mibusawo before no alcohol was permissible to. Yeah, but me chirawo verse what Quran muna it has been abrogated with another verse. So what you say? Now then you can say Uji abrogation is an ebubusa. Baba, me time aso. What's me call? Okay, me time.
So now it is clear. Okay. Now, so he's pretending, he's acting like we are not here to check the abrogation, but that is the whole point. The whole point is there are verses in the Quran which abrogate another verse. There are verses in the Quran which abrogate another verse. And then he said, no, say that. And the point is he did not know that there are verses in the Quran which abrogate another verses, okay? I've forgotten. Let me put some on the screen. Okay. Let me try and show you what I mean by that. When you check at this verse, Quran chapter 16, verse number 67, you can check the tafsir and the asbab nuzul or whatever you have according to the verse. Okay, it says, and from the fruit of the palm tree and grapevines, you take intoxicant. You see, strong drinks, that is alcohol. You take intoxicant and good provisions. Indeed, in that is a sign for a people who reason. So, in taking intoxicant and good provision, it is what? It is for people who reason. That is a statement. These are the sign of Allah. Allah is showing his signs that he has done for mankind. If you read it from above, Allah is showing his signs, the signs that he has provided for mankind. And intoxicant is one of the signs of Allah at this time. And then later on, Allah said it is a handiwork of Satan. I've forgotten the other verse. I think it's Quran chapter, let me see, 4 something. I hope. Let's look. And this Quran chapter 4, verse number 43, it's saying, oh, you who have believed, do not approach prayer while you are intoxicated. You see, until you know what you are saying. So this verse is telling you, Allah didn't say alcohol is bad or something like this. He's saying if you are going to church, don't be intoxicated. You can even drink. If you are not intoxicated, it was okay. You see, don't be intoxicated. If you take one thought and you are not drunk, it is okay. It wasn't something bad. So there is another verse which I have forgotten. I don't know this verse clearly. I don't know. But the verse is saying it is the handicap of Satan. Alcohol is the handiwork of Satan. Alcohol is not. So Allah forbids the alcohol totally. Okay? Let me see if I can find a word. Quran chapter 5, verse number 90. We will find it very quick. Quran chapter 5, verse number 90. It says, oh believers, intoxicant, gambling, idols, and drawing lots, okay, for a decision are all evil of Satan's handiwork. Do you hear that? So at this particular time, Allah is saying gambling and intoxicant is Satan's handiwork. So shun them so you may be successful. So Allah is saying it is forbidden. You don't have to do that anymore. So this is what we call abrogation. This verse was there, Quran chapter 16, verse number 67. The Muslims could drink alcohol. There was nothing wrong with it. There is no verse, something which is prohibiting them from drinking alcohol. Allah is saying it is even a sign from him. Indeed, it's a sign from people who reason. Intoxicant, they should take intoxicant. You can take it. This is not a compulsory thing. It is something you can take. You see, it is not by force. Just like you can marry 4, but it is not by force. It is not saying Muslims should drink alcohol all day. It is there. You could take it if you want to. You can marry 4 if you want to. So it wasn't as handy Satan work. And then Allah didn't forbid it. Allah still told the Muslims, only when you are coming to mosque to pray, you should know what you are saying. So don't be drunk, because as a drunkard, you cannot say it properly, or you maybe not understand what you are saying. That's why this verse also came. You see, and then later on, this is Quran chapter 5. That is at the end of Muhammad's time. Quran chapter 5, Muhammad was 23 years of prophet, maybe 22 years. After 22 years, that's when the verse came. Quran chapter 5 is the last chapter that came, the last but one. After this one, and then came Quran chapter 110, according to their scholars, not according to me. So Allah watched them drink alcohol the whole time till the end of Islam, till the end of Prophet Muhammad's career. And then a verse came to say that it is forbidden. Do you hear me? So now I've shown you all the evidences, what is abrogation in the Quran. Now let's see the verse, the other verse. Where is it? Okay. Quran chapter 2, verse number 101, 106. The Asbab Nuzul, okay, the cause of the revelation. Listen to why the revelation came, not with my own understanding, but their understanding. Nothing of our revelation, even a single verse, do we abrogate or cause be forgotten. Okay, but we bring in place one better or the like for thereof. Quran chapter 2, verse 106. Okay, the commentators of the Quran said, the idolaters said, do you not see that Muhammad commands his companion with something and then forbids them from the same and commands them to do exact opposite? That means the people who were there at Muhammad's time, they can watch, they are the eyewitnesses. They see Muhammad commanding them to do this. Okay, you should do this today. And tomorrow, Muhammad will command them to do something opposite. So they are confused. They say, how can this be from God? How can this be from God? You say you command them to do this. You see, if the time distance was like 200 years, 100 years, 50 years, maybe you understand. You will say different circumstances. So you commanded them to do this. You see, now we are commanded to wear nose mask. We are commanded to wear nose mask today, and then tomorrow they will not say don't wear any mask. It won't make why. But that's why the people was. These are eyewitnesses. They are saying. So they are saying Muhammad commands them to do something, and they exact the opposite way. One day he says something, and the following day he retracts it. So Muhammad gives them something to do today, and tomorrow he will say do it different way. Is it from God? That's why the people are asking. This Quran, okay, this Quran is nothing but a speech of Muhammad, who has invented it. You see, because a God will not say today you do this, and tomorrow he will say do something else. One day difference. He will send Angel Gabriel. How long does Angel Gabriel need to come down? The Quran mentions something like 50,000 or something like this. It is a speech that contradicts itself. So when the people, the eyewitnesses, the people who live with Muhammad, they have witnessed these things, and then Allah then sent something to Muhammad. Exalt Allah, exalted is he. Therefore reveal this verse. And when we put a revelation in place of another, Quran chapter 16, verse number 101. And also, nothing of our revelation, even a single verse, do we abrogate. So Allah abrogates the verse or cause to be forgotten, but we bring in place one better or like the like thereof. So this is why the verse came, okay? Muhammad will say something today, and tomorrow he will say something else. But when that's what he said the next day, it wasn't him who was saying it. Allah brought another verse. So what will he do? He's just doing everything according to Allah. Surah to Najm, Quran chapter 53, verse 3 and 4. The Muslims know it for themselves. Muhammad doesn't speak on his own, okay? And I am also not speaking on my own. I have tried everything possible to let you know what their sources are saying. So according to this verse, there are verses in the Quran which is being abrogated with another verses. It was for Muhammad. It was for Muhammad. Okay, let me see what the Tafsir Ibn Abbas says. Okay, Tafsir Ibn Abbas, that is what it says, not I am speaking. Then Allah mentions what was abrogated of the Quran. The Quran was abrogated. How was it abrogated? One verse will cancel the other verse. You see the guy? That which was not abrogated, okay, as a direct reference to the claims of the Quraysh who said to the Prophet Muhammad, why do you command us to do something, then forbid it? Saying, such our revelation as we abrogated, we do not erase. So we do not erase a verse that was acted upon before and which is now not acted upon, or caused to be forgotten, or revealed, or leave unabrogated, so that it is acted upon. We bring one better. Okay, we send Gabriel, we send Gabriel with that which more profitable and easier to act upon. Okay, so if Allah could send something which was easier to act upon, why did he send the hard one before? All-knowing God. Think for yourself, okay? Judge for yourself. The guy clearly didn't know what he was talking about. He didn't know that there is something like this in the Quran. And I have to end the program right here, okay? Because my time is up. Please kindly share this video for me. Subscribe and tag people. It is time you open your eyes and know the truth. Don't follow your heart, okay? Open your eyes and know the truth. I have to end the program here, okay? Please share this video for me, Seto SSK. Kindly share. Bye-bye.
I mean, in Islam, there is a science called Asbabun Nuzul. This science deals with each and every verse that came to Muhammad